Good evening, students. And this is again PK Shikdar from PK Shikdar's Advanced Learning. And this time I am going to take budgets and budgetary control. Now, budgets which relate to the individual functions in an organization are known as functional budgets. The various commonly used functional budgets are number one, sales budget, number two, production budget, number three, plant utilization budget. Number next, direct material usage budget. Number next, direct material purchase budget. Direct labor, that is personnel budget, factory overhead budget, and production cost budget. Now, at the outset, right now, I'm just going to make a distinction between fixed budget and flexible budget. So, firstly, I'm taking into consideration the basis. Secondly, the fixed budget, and thirdly, the flexible budget. Under basis, we are having flexibility. Under fixed budget, it is inflexible and does not change with the actual volume of output achieved. Whereas flexible budget, it is flexible and changes according to the level of activity. Next, on the basis, I'm just considering conditions. It assumes that continuous conditions would remain static. And under flexible budget, it is prepared according to changing conditions. Now, under basis, classification of costs. Under fixed budget, costs are not classified according to their variability, that is fixed, variable, and semi-variable. But in case of flexible budget, costs are classified according to their variability, that is fixed, variable, and semi-variable. Now, under basis, our next point is cost control. Under fixed budget, it has limited applications and is ineffective as tool for cost control. Now, so far the flexible budget is concerned, it has more applications and can be used as tool for cost control. Next, under basis, I am coming to number of budgets. Under fixed budget, only one budget at a fixed level of activity is prepared. But so far the flexible budget is concerned, under it, series of budgets are prepared at different level of activity. Now, I may discuss right now the essentials of budget. Now, the essential of budgets are organizational structure must be clearly defined and responsibility should be assigned to identifiable units within the organization. Setting of clear objectives and reasonable targets. Objectives should be in consensus with the long-term plan of the organization. Objectives and degree of responsibility should be clearly stated and communicated to the management or person responsible for. Now coming to what are the various steps which are involved in the budgetary control technique. The various steps involved in the budgetary control techniques are as under. Definition of objectives. A budget is a plan for the achievement of certain operational objectives. So, this should be defined precisely. The areas of control should be demarcated and items of revenue and expenditure to be covered by the budget stated. Second point, location of the key or budget factor. The factor or factors which sets a limits to the total activity is known as key factor. For proper budgeting, it must be located and estimated properly. Next part is appointment of controller. Formulation of a budget usually requires whole-time services of a senior executive known as budget controller. He must be assisted in this work by a budget committee consisting of all the heads of department along with the managing director as the chairman. Next comes budget manual. Effective budgetary planning relies on the provisions of adequate information which are contained in the budget manual. A budget manual is a collection of documents that contains key information for those involved in the planning process. Next comes budget period. The period covered by a budget is known as budget period. The budget committee determines the length of the budget period suitable suitable for the organization and also based upon the nature of business. It may be months or quarters or such periods as coincide with period of training activity. And the last step is standard of activity or output. For preparing budgets for the future, past statistics cannot be completely relied upon. Therefore, though results of the past should be studied, but this should be only be applied when there is a likelihood of similar conditions repeating in the future. Now I am coming to the most important issue, that is zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting is a superior to traditional budgeting in the following manner. It provides a systematic approach for evaluation of different activities. It ensures that the function undertaken are critical for the achievement of the objectives. It provides an opportunity for management to allocate resources to various activities after a thorough cost benefit analysis. It helps in the identification of wasteful expenditure and then their elimination. It facilitates the close linkage of departmental budgets with corporate objectives. It helps in the introduction of a system of MBO, that is called management by objectives. Now, in the context of budgets and budgetary control, there are so many types of problems which are actually coming. You may be asked to prepare material purchase budget, both in quantity and in value. Then production budget in terms of quantity as well as value. Then you will be asked to prepare a sales budget depending upon the quantities and also value based. Then you are required to prepare a flexible budget, and this flexible budget is of utmost importance so far the examination is concerned. Remember, so far SEMA is concerned, SEMA has defined flexible budget as a budget which is designed to change with the level of activity actually attained. Now, in a flexible budget, you will be provided with a particular situation. Say the company is operating at 50% capacity level, and you will be provided with the various data. The data may be with relation to material, labor, overheads, etc. You may be provided with some semi-variable parts of the overheads also, which you are required to segregate between fixed and variable elements by high and low point method. Now, in the context of budgets and budgetary control, usually in group 1 it is not coming, but there is another budget which is known as cash budget, which is actually being prepared, which is generally coming in group 2. But still I am telling you, the cash budget is a budget which projects the various cash inflows and cash outflows over a certain period, say for a quarter or say for 6 monthly basis, in order to justify what type of cash you are required to borrow, and if you are having excess cash, then how you are going to utilize this cash by lending the same to your sister concern, okay, with certain amount of interest, so that there should not be any idle cash. Now, what from my past experience, what I have seen, mostly the institute is giving preference on preparation of flexible budget. But still, what I have already said, you are required to prepare all types of functional budgets, and I'll be sending you the various problems and solutions, not today, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so that you can understand what are the practicalities which are actually being involved in the preparation of budgets and budgetary control. Again, I would say stay fit, stay well, be at home, study on a regular basis, work hard, and I hope so. Uh, Whether the examination will be deferred or not, no notice is available till date. So, based upon the decision of the government, so far the lockdown periods are concerned, a decision definitely is going to be taken by the institute in the coming days. So that is all for budgets and budgetary control. Thank you. Wish you very